Philip Frost MD is an investor who made his fortune primarily in the pharmaceutical and biotech industries. And you can see right here that his net worth, according to Forbes, is 2.1 billion. And so according to Simply Wall Street, when I go on their website, you can see here that he is the majority shareholder of Opko Health at 35.3%. And if you look at the last year, you can see that they've been trading at between around 87 cents to $1.5 USD. And if we take a look at his bio on the Opko Health website, you'll see it states, Dr. Frost served as chairman of the board of directors and CEO of IVAX Corporation from 1987 until its acquisition by Teva in January 2006. And you can see from this article from Forbes that Frost founded IVAX, a generic drug maker, in 1987, which he then sold to Teva Pharmaceuticals for 7.6 billion in 2005. And so before his time at IVAX and Teva, you can also see that Dr. Frost took over the realm at Key Pharmaceuticals as well. And you can see right here that in 1986, Schering-Plough, which is now part of Merck, acquired Key Pharmaceuticals for around 587 million. And so this is just an example to kind of demonstrate Philip Frost, or Dr. Philip Frost's track record. You know, he has historically been involved in early stage pharmaceutical companies that he started from scratch, or that he's kind of acquired when they were in troubling times. And he has worked on developing treatments that have been approved by the FDA that he can then market and sell on. And it's once he's developed these pipelines, the pipelines of these early stage pharma companies, that they become a little bit more credible, and where larger pharmaceutical companies have come in and acquired them. And it's at that acquisition stage that Philip Frost has made his 2.1 billion fortune. And this is exactly what he's doing with Opko Health. You know, he's the majority shareholder with around 35% ownership of the company. And you can see that the price has kind of been hovering around the 1.3 to 1.6 mark over the last 6 months. And so when we look at the pipeline of their website, you can see that they already have this strong partnership with Pfizer. You know, they've taken certain products to market already. And then when we kind of scroll down the website somewhat a little bit, you can see that they're also developing more early stage treatments. I think they're in phase 1 with the NIH and also with Merck as well. And so these are all kind of indications of a level of certification. You know, that's how I look at these stocks. You know, I'm looking for kind of partnerships with organizations or other pharmaceutical companies that demonstrate a level of pedigree. The fact that Opko Health, you know, not only are they led by Philip Frost, who has this incredible track record and he's built this fortune, you know, but he's already attracting partnerships which give them a level of credibility as well. And so right now they're developing treatments for HIV in partnership with the NIH, and also EBV, which is a form of herpes with Merck. And so as you can see from Simply Wall Street, there's high inside ownership. You know, I've already mentioned that Philip Frost holds 35% of Opko Health. And you can also see right here that Philip Frost has actually been periodically buying up more and more shares in Opko Health throughout 2024 at a range of prices between 87 cents to $1.29 USD. But there's also inside ownership by other senior leadership as well. You know, you can see here the likes of Gary Nabel, Jane Sauer, Ilyas Zahorny, all holding significant amounts of the stock. And again, this is something that I look for, is I'm looking for senior leadership, key decision makers, people with high pedigree who are also invested in the stock as well. And you can see that Jane Sauer is CTO and vice chairman, Gary Nabel is the chief innovation officer and director, and Ilyas Zahorny is president and vice chairman. And funnily enough, you know, you can see down here again on Simply Wall Street that the Iaz Ziraz Trust also hold a further 2.86% of this stock. And this is actually a holding company owned by Ilyas Zahorny as well. And so like I was saying, you know, handing out equity is a method used here by Philip Frost to keep hold of significant critical team members who are responsible for key decision making, who have a lot of experience in the field. You know, by handing out this equity, it gives them a level of investment in the success of the company. It also is a means to keep hold of them so that they're not tempted by, you know, other offers out there by competitors, let's just say, for example. And it also means that should Opko Health be acquired by a larger pharmaceutical company, all of these individuals stand to become millionaires off the back of that acquisition as well, should they decide to sell their stock. What I did find online was a little bit more information about an entity called the Frost Gamma Investment Trust. And this is a separate entity that Philip Frost is leveraging in order to help bankroll Opko Health, in order to help him to develop this pipeline. And so you can see from this article right here that it states Opko Health CEO Philip Frost purchases $421,535 in Opko Health. And you can see that this article states Philip Frost, the CEO and chairman of Opko Health, recently acquired 280,000 shares of the company's stock. The purchase, which took place on November the 8th, 2024, was executed at a weighted average price of $1.5 per share. The shares were purchased through Frost Gamma Investment Trust, where Dr. Frost serves as a trustee. And so this comes back to what I was saying in a previous video around the number of different billionaires, whether it's Patrick Soon-Shiong at Immunity Bio, who's leveraging NantWorks LLC and other entities to help bankroll Immunity Bio's pipeline. You know, Randall Kirk at Precigen, who's doing exactly the same with an LLC called Third Security LLC, where these billionaires are leveraging these separate entities to help them to build these ambitious pipelines, to build out these pharmaceutical companies, which they then sell on at a significant profit, which is how they build their wealth. And so you can see that this SEC form relates to Opko Health. And so right here, it says Statement of Changes in Beneficial Ownership, which documents changes in ownership of Opko Health by insiders. So if I scroll down here, you can see that the reporting person is Philip Frost, MD. And right down here, you can see that this agreement is with Frost Gamma Investment Trust. And if I scroll down to the very bottom, you can see in the small print that it states that the securities are held by Frost Gamma Investment Trust, of which Philip Frost is the trustee. And also down here it says Dr. Frost is one of 2 limited partners of Frost Gamma LP. And so when we look at this form and we look at this table right here, it outlines that Frost Gamma Investment Trust holds 1.15 million worth of 3.75% convertible senior notes, which are due in 2029. And so basically what this is an agreement between Opko Health and Frost Gamma Investment Trust, whereby Frost Gamma Investment Trusts loan Opko Health money in exchange for shares which can be bought at a future date at this agreed price of $1.15 per share. And so Philip Frost is basically leveraging Frost Gamma Investment Trusts as a vehicle in order to loan money to Opko Health, you know, under these kind of convertible notes, if you like, which can then be exchanged as shares in Opko Health in the future. And so going back to Philip Frost and his career, you know, historically, this is how he's built his career. You know, he's done it with those previous examples that I mentioned in the very beginning of this video. And it's almost as if he's doing it again with Opko Health. You know, if we look at their pipeline, they have this partnership with Pfizer already. And then with these partnerships with the NIH and Merck, you know, these are in very early stages. I anticipate that it could potentially be 10 to 15 years before these come to fruition. However, looking at the price of Opko Health at the moment, looking at Philip Frost and his track record, and also the inside ownership, the fact that he holds, you know, over 30% of this stock, we have a clear kind of indication of his strategy moving forward with Opko Health. You know, this potentially presents itself as a significant opportunity for anyone who's, you know, willing to hold on for the next 10 to 15 years. Certainly the way that I always look at these stocks is that I would be potentially going into a partnership with Philip Frost in this. I'm aligning my money with him. I'm putting a level of faith in his track record, his decision making, you know, the fact that he's able to leverage different entities and what competitive advantage that gives him, you know, compared to a lot of the other biotech and pharmaceutical companies out there who perhaps don't have the experience, the team, or the capital in order to kind of advance their pipeline. Again, you know, I've mentioned in the past that biotech and pharma is very risky as an investment, which is why I always like to lean towards billionaires who have a track record, who've made, you know, their wealth in the industry. You know, to me, that's an indication that they know exactly what they're doing. You know, they have the capital to be able to back their ambitious pipelines as well. And I almost replicate their behavior. So I go in with them and I would exit with them as well. And so over the next few videos, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about a number of different billionaires who are doing the same thing, same kind of principle. You know, how they have a proven track record, they've built their billions in this industry as well. And they all hold a significant holding. You know, they have high inside ownership, whether it's as an individual or through another investment vehicle or kind of entity as well. And naturally, you know, I'll keep you posted because I don't just talk about pharma stocks or biotech stocks. I will keep you posted with the stock market because it's always changing. And again, you know, I'm always looking for new opportunities. So as soon as I discover more, I will let you know on this YouTube channel. But look, thanks very much for watching. Have a great day and see you in the next one. All the best.